Come alive. Come alive. D&D with A&G.
Welcome to D&D with A&G. Hey,
Welcome.
how are you, Jenna? How's your last week been since the last time we chatted?
Um, it's been good. It's been
Yeah.
good. Yeah. How has your week been?
Oh, it's fine. It's just the whole I think every week since the election is tough, but other than that, great. I've been looking forward to this episode. I've been looking forward to the pod.
I'm looking forward to this too. I'm excited to share that we're officially endorsed as Jenna's dad's favorite podcast.
That's hard to get
Um,
that endorsement. That's hard
it's
to get.
really tough.
Yeah.
I don't
Mr.
think he
Shellnut.
listens to other podcasts, but it did take 6 episodes for him to give us that.
Well, I love it. And honestly, the fact that he doesn't even listen to podcasts and we got, the seal of approval. I think that says even more.
Right. So between him and my sister, we have
Yeah,
2 listeners, and we really appreciate them.
we really do. Shout out. Shout out to our our avid listeners, Blevin and Mr. Shellnut.
Um, Amy, you want to give a quick overview on what we do on D&D with A&G?
I would be so happy to. So on D&D with A&G, every week we take a different topic and we align it in the Dungeons and Dragons alignment chart. Have either of us played Dungeons and Dragons? No. Is that going to stop us? Also, no. Every week we take, for example, something like horror movies, and we say what horror movie is lawful good, lawful neutral, chaotic, whatever. It's really fun. And if you don't know what the D&D alignment chart is, very quickly, it's essentially a chart that I think that D&D players are able to use to really sort of fill out their characters. Like, what are their characters' motivations? What are they going to do in a certain situation? And we used to go through every single square, but we don't do that anymore because I finally pinned some D&D alignment reference charts to our Instagram. So take a look at that if you need a reminder about what each quadrant means. And remember, we're at D&D Wang
On Instagram.
on
And
Instagram.
those charts are awesome. I actually used one of them entirely to do my grid this
Oh,
week. I loved it. It's the one that's like kind of just like names, like I guess like almost like a name for each person. I don't know what you would call that one. I think you just have an emoji is how you
oh, right. That's right.
um
I
so
love
anyway, so
that.
yeah, if you're unfamiliar with these charts, it's a great reference point. So check them out, and it makes it easy to follow along and figure out where you would place items on a grid yourself. And so each week we take a different topic. And in the spirit of timeliness and time of the year,
Yes.
this week it's Thanksgiving dishes. So
Yes.
dishes you would serve at the Thanksgiving holiday. We're 1 week out. This is the Thursday before Thanksgiving. What are you going to be doing for Thanksgiving, Amy?
Well, as Eric and I call it in our house, thanks taking. Since
I
it
think
was
I remember you telling me.
Yes, there wasn't very much giving. There was a lot of taking. So, Eric and I celebrate sort of more of like a fall feasting because fuck those pilgrims. Um, but I will be back in Metro Atlanta visiting my family. And in fact,
Oh, yeah.
the morning of Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be running and I don't know why I did this, Jenna, but my family does the gobble jog around Marietta Square, and I very foolishly said, "Oh, I want to do a timed one. Sign me up for a timed race." So I'm actually racing in a 5K on Thursday morning.
What?
Yeah, which I haven't. I mean, I did a race in like June, but I have not been running lately. So we'll
Wow.
see. What about you? What are
What
you
a
gonna?
classic Thanksgiving for you guys.
Isn't it though? Isn't it just? My mom was like, "You can run, and then you can come back and find us and walk with us the rest of the way." That's what she said. So
Oh
that's
my
probably what I'll be doing.
gosh.
Yeah.
That'll be lovely.
Yeah.
We love to host Friendsgiving.
Oh, that's
Um,
really fun.
we don't usually do it on the day of Thanksgiving. We
Mm,
do usually do it either the Friday or the Saturday after. So we're doing Friday after this year, and it's like relatively smaller group, but it kind of varies. It's kind of like whoever isn't traveling or or plans fell apart, or this year is
I
like
love
estranged
that.
from their family because
Oh,
of
that's
political
nice.
reasons,
Yeah.
like whatever. So it kind of ends up being whoever is left behind a little bit. We get together with those folks, and sometimes it's potluck, sometimes it's like a leftover situation. This
Ooh,
year I'm making all the food myself, which I'm excited to
wow.
do. But I
I'm
I really love,
impressed.
like, I try to make it fancy and formal, so I do like a big
Oh,
tablescape with lots of florals
oh
and
my
cool
God.
place settings, and I try to make it really nice, so we
I
look
bet
forward
that's
to it.
incredible. You have such an
Yeah.
incredible eye. I bet it looks gorgeous. And what, like, I have many things to say about that. Uh, I I love my family and I'm excited to see my family, especially because none of my family, my nuclear family, voted for Trump. I know that for certain, and so I don't have to worry about anything like that when I go back. Um, but and also, I would love to be at your Friendsgiving. I feel like Friendsgiving is where you can actually kind of relax a little bit versus, you know, having to sort of, I don't know, you know what it's like. Um, and also you can get, have a little bit more to drink, which I would enjoy. But what are you cooking?
Well, I mean, we'll cover a lot of it, I think, over the
Okay,
course of
okay.
this.
How many people are you hosting?
I think we'll just have 10 this year, including Todd and me. So that's like, I
It's
think
a
it's
lot
going to
of
be one of
food
the
you're gonna
smaller
make.
ones.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, one of your smaller ones you said. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, 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 you're fine. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be a nice size group, and um yeah, we're looking forward to it. So we spend
Amazing.
a lot of Thursday doing a lot of the prep and cooking kind of at a leisurely pace because we kind of have all day to do it, and then Friday kind of doing the thing. So
I love like a full long cooking day. You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
understand how everyone else does it, because like you go straight from working on Wednesday to Thursday's the day. Like I don't
right.
understand how everyone else does it.
No, I don't understand that either. I don't understand that. Eric and I always have like a big day when we're both off, when we both have 2 days off in a row. And so we do like one big, giant, huge cooking day, and then we eat. And then the next day we still eat. It's really fun. And we watch all the John Wicks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Anyway, that sounds lovely. And your guests are very lucky. I hope they're grateful for you on that day.
Well, I told you I used
Oh,
one
yes.
of your references to approach my chart. How did you approach your chart this week?
Pretty much the same, actually.
Oh, cool.
I used one of these as well. That's not true. I think I used multiple ones.
That's
I
okay.
but I did try this time. I will say, listeners, I do re-listen. Okay, I want to give the best podcast possible. So I re-listen and I'm like, okay, this is what I could do better. I'm not giving enough analysis, and I'm stopping my sentences in the middle before I finish my thought, which is really weird. So, anyways, those are two things that I'm trying to improve upon. And so I did a lot of analysis. All that to say, I did a lot of analysis for this one. I have a lot to say about each. There's no scant notes this week for me.
Well, let's jump right in then.
Let's do it. Why don't you start us off?
Okay. So we like to start with lawful good, which is top left of the D&D grid. And in the reference chart describes lawful good as goody two shoes, which kind of makes sense. It's like always doing the right thing, and in pursuit of a good outcome, but kind of just like the person's like always doing the right thing no matter what.
Whack.
And for this, I put the Thanksgiving dish apple pie.
Oh, interesting. Say more.
Um, I mean, I think apple pie is kind of a classic, like goody two
Hmm.
shoes type dish.
Okay.
First of all, any baked good like is a strict rule following type dish. Like you have to follow the rules to get
That's
the
good.
proper outcome. If you don't, it won't work out. My sister used to make an incredible apple pie for Thanksgiving, but it was a
Wow.
very intense situation. But I mean, because she put so much work and effort into making this like really beautiful apple pie, and it had this like incredible, perfectly done like lattice top.
Mm.
Um, it feels like goody two shoes. It feels like perfection. It feels like must be done to the
Mm.
exact right way. There was actually like one epic Thanksgiving that she went through all of this painstaking labor to make this pie, and I feel like she must have been 16 or 17 or 18 if I'm remembering it correctly, because she was a teenager, but she was gone, like she had left after Thanksgiving after making the pie, and the rest of us were still at home, my mom, my dad, and I. And we were all in the living room and we heard an explosion,
My God.
and like a very loud explosion. We were like, what was that? And we went in, and basically the pie was in a glass, like a clear glass pie pan, and she had set it, somebody had set it on a burner on
Oh
top,
no.
that was still turned on unknowingly. I think it was my mom's fault ultimately. And it heated up to the point that it exploded,
Oh
which
no.
like would have been really dangerous. Like
Yeah.
glass literally shot across our kitchen
Hey,
at high speeds.
that's some
Like,
Final Destination death right there.
I remember my mom's like knees hit the floor. She was so upset because of all of the work
Oh,
my sister had
of
put
course,
into this
yeah.
and the intensity of making this pie, and it was ruined. It was like sizzling on the burner and had shards of
Oh,
glass in it.
no.
So anyway, it feels like apple pie is this, and it's like kind of this classic American dish on top of
Yeah,
all of that. So it just feels like it's lawful good to me.
I love that. I respect anyone that can bake anything, you know? Honestly, I think it seems really hard. I've tried it. It's the rule following thing is hard because you gotta like measure and you've gotta. So I
Yeah.
very much respect. Did she? It was it the kind that had like? Did she put like sugar on the top so it had like a crunchy like sugar thingy
Mhm.
on the top? God,
Yeah, like the cinnamon sugar. Mhm.
was it a la mode?
I think most years we had ice cream available for you.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. That sounds good. Yeah.
What about
Uh,
you? What do you have for lawful good?
my lawful good is macaroni and cheese.
Ah,
I'm realizing this one, I don't think I used any of the reference charts. But the reason I put it here was I think it's like, I think of it as like an old faithful, and I think it's hard. None of this makes sense as I'm saying it out loud to the fucking actual category, whatever. I think that I'm going the opposite that you went with the apple pie because my notes say it's hard to make macaroni, it's like fuck macaroni and cheese up essentially.
that's okay.
Because it's hard, like, basically, it's very hard to make a macaroni and cheese that I won't eat. You know what I mean? It has
Hmm.
happened, but I think only once. So, yeah, I also think that maybe this is what I was thinking. I think that it's like you have to have macaroni and cheese. Like macaroni and cheese like has to be present. Do you know what I mean? To me at least. If you're gonna have
Right.
like a feasting thing, like it has to be there. That's like the law, and it's good. But I wanted to ask you some questions, like, because I think that there are some, serious opinions about macaroni and cheese. Do you know what I mean? Like, because there are
Sure.
different ways to make it. So, what kind of mac and cheese girly are you? Are you like, baked with a crunchy top or,
Yeah,
uh,
definitely. But we also, that was not a Thanksgiving dish for our family. S-
excuse me?
I know. So I don't usually have it for Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow. Wow. I think,
We
I guess,
have done it in select years, but it's like only
wow.
if we're having a really big crowd and I need extra dishes to kind of
Uh-huh.
serve a really big crowd, I'll add it to the repertoire, but like not
Oh
typically.
man. That's like number one, like for me, gotta be their food for a feast is macaroni and cheese. And I
Yeah.
will say, I didn't grow up cooking and I didn't grow up in a family that cooked, as you know. And so one of these feast days that Eric and I had, I made macaroni and cheese from scratch. And I guess I always thought like, oh, cooking is so hard. Like I will never be able to do that. And then just trying stuff over the past like however many years, I love to cook now and I will try
Oh,
all kind of things, and that was one of the dishes that I made where I was like, "I can do this, like, I can cook, this is delicious." So anyway, just another
what
little
is your macaroni noodle of choice? Is it a true like a
oh,
elbow, or do you do something different? Uh-oh.
Okay, that's a great question. And on this week, Eric ordered us, oh, it was Japanese fried chicken. And oh my God, Jenna. First of all, it came in a bucket. It came in a bucket like KFC. It was like hitting all the nostalgia points. There's like a dancing drumstick on the side, super cute. And they had macaroni and cheese with the like, I don't know if it's fusilli, but like the corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that is the ticket because all of the screwy parts, that's where so much cheese in every bite. So number one now is the whatever that was, and number two I think is actually shells because it's almost like you bite into it and it's like a cheese gusher, which I don't know why they didn't make that flavor. Now that I'm saying it out loud, like I would have purchased cheese gushers for sure.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Amazing. I'm so glad for you that you
What about
discovered your
you?
love of cooking. What do you
Oh, thank
mean?
you, thank you. What's your favorite noodle for macaroni and cheese?
Um, I don't know that I have like a absolute go-to. I'm like I would trust a recipe on my mac and cheese. So I
I
would be
like that.
yeah.
Love it.
Um, well, keep us rolling. What is your
Oh,
lawful
yes.
neutral?
Okay, so here's my lawful neutral. Let's see if this one came up in one of these. I got the reference charts here in front of me. No. Uh, oh, yes, it is. So this is one of the reference charts. So one of the reference charts has lawful neutral as just doing their job.
Yeah.
And so I picked mashed potatoes. You know, they're just there doing their job. I love potatoes, but like up against a feast meal? Mashed potatoes, like, they're just there. They're like what you were saying, like extra dish for more people. They're just meat in the room, if you will. Mashed potatoes are just doing their job, middle management.
God would be so mad at you. Mashed potatoes are like his favorite food. Like his
Well, I would make them,
favorite food.
but okay,
Um,
but do you like mashed potatoes creamy or do you like them chunky?
um, more chunky than creamy.
Me
Like
too.
it can't get like pureed. Like that's not
Eric
the
would
situation.
drink his with a straw. It's disgusting.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I want to know it's a potato. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And also, like, let's just take a step back. Like, just doing its job is a much kinder interpretation of lawful neutral than we typically give it.
That's
But that
exactly
is also what I use to
right.
put my food in its place this week. And mine goes really nicely with mashed potatoes. I went with gravy.
Oh my God. I have gravy on my chart and it could not be in a different quadrant, but we'll get there. Okay, this to me is your Charlotte Russe. You're gonna have to explain this one to me.
Well,
Gravy as
first of
a
all,
neutral
I'm
law
not.
and lawful?
I think gravy's just doing its job. It's like it's literally there to do a job. Like it's not it's invited to the party for a purpose,
Purpose.
like to make the turkey edible. Like it
Oh
is
God.
it is there to do a job. Like you wouldn't have it if that wasn't a need because turkey is inedible
It
without it.
is. Oh,
And
Jenna,
I
Jenna,
just
Jenna. This is your Charlotte Russe. Because that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I'm not a big gravy girly.
We can see.
Also, like growing up, my dad, hi dad, would make like the giblet gravy, which I
Oh,
know is like it's nice. It's like making it from scratch. It's much nicer than like the packet gravy or buying store-bought gravy or whatever, but it is like conceptually gross to me.
okay, that's
Um
fair.
so
That's
it's
fair.
like
That's fair.
it's there to do a job. Gravy's there to
That's
do a
fair.
job, in my opinion. So that's why I have it unlawful neutral.
Well,
Um,
okay.
I look forward to hearing where you put it, and I'm gonna keep us going with lawful evil,
Ooh,
which
I
was
think we're gonna have a twinsies.
I hope so. This is the one that like as soon as we had this chart, I was like, I know what's
Yep.
going here.
My first pick as well. On
Canned
the count of three.
cranberries.
No.
Well, my pick for lawful evil. Well, first of all, lawful evil, according to the reference chart, is the villain. And so therefore, the villain of the Thanksgiving meal is canned cranberries. Hands down, that's the villain of Thanksgiving. Homemade cranberries, arguably not a villain, although not my favorite. Canned cranberries. Can we just talk about it? This is
let's talk about it.
this
They're
is
on
a
my chart.
meal
They're on my
that is
chart.
supposed to be from the heart. You're celebrating love and gratitude with the people you care about most in your life. You are baking a turkey that takes hours and hours of work, and you open a can
Yep.
and on both ends and use the one end to push the gelatinous stuff out the other end onto some sort of dish, and it still has the can ridges in it, and you serve it. That
Literally,
is villainous.
Literally, I also, when I did it on my pick, talked about the ridges that are the internal can ridges that are visible on
Villain.
the plate. Yeah,
Not
no,
to mention, if you listen to our condiments episode, which was episode 6 from last week, you might recall that ketchup was in this position because your girl does not like sweet food coming in contact with her salty food. So for that same reason, I do not like canned cranberries. I appreciate having cranberry sauce at the table as part of the meal for those that like to engage in that kind of behavior, but it does not need to be canned. And making cranberry sauce is not hard. My dad also does that from scratch, and it's not hard, and it smells delicious. And I appreciate that he did it the right way. Thanks, Dad. What is your lawful evil? That we were supposed to have twinsies.
We might have crisscross applesauce.
Oh, okay.
Turkey is my lawful evil.
Okay, we might have crisscross applesauce.
We might have crisscross applesauce. For me, I did use villain for this. I think turkey, while I respect it as an animal, is because like turkeys, like wild turkeys don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like there literally is a turkey in my parents' neighborhood that has its own Instagram page because it is like renowned.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it shows up. It is like, come at me. It attacked my mom had to grab an umbrella in the garage because this thing came for her. So while I respect the turkey as an animal, I think it is the worst of all the poultry.
How was I supposed to know about this villainous turkey in your mom's neighborhood and pick this guy?
Okay, honestly, I'm only now thinking of him. I have a whole analysis that doesn't even bring him into because okay, it's the most disgusting poultry out of all of it. Roasted chicken, better. Roasted duck, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And they put and it's the centerpiece. It is the most lawful. That is thanks-taking for people is the turkey. Do you know what I mean? Norman Rockwell style, and it's disgusting. It's dry. It never comes out right. It is the villain. It's taking up space that would better be served by ham with ham or any sort of pork product, in my opinion. And so, yeah, I think that the turkey and another thing that was one of the reference charts was do unto others, and then it had how each quadrant would respond to that. And so for lawful evil, it's do unto others whatever it takes to stay on top, and that's how I feel about a turkey.
Whoa.
I think it's not letting it's not letting go of the being the thing. It's all it's got. That's all the turkey has, anyway.
I do have very strong feelings about turkey, and they will come up.
I really thought both. How did you like that? I was like, on 3. Okay, so heading up to neutral good.
Take it away.
Okay, so I did use some reference charts for this one, which was the one that has essentially like each quadrant's ultimate goal. And this one is goodness for neutral good. And to me, that is collard greens. And then also it's do unto others as you would have them do unto you, the actual golden rule that we're all taught. And I would want someone to bring collard greens to a potluck. And I would want to bring collard greens to a potluck. They're delicious. I like them both with a turkey neck and also with a ham hock. as the meat, giving it the flavor. But I'm going to go with the ham hock because I wanted to have ham on here somewhere, and so this is kind of a twofer for me. But also the thing about collard greens is that once you eat them all, and they've been simmering for so long, they've got that juice, they've got that liquor at the bottom, like really concentrated, like sauce, you know? So anyway, collard greens, neutral good. Oh me. What about you, Jenna?
I love your interpretation of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Like, I would want you to bring these to my potluck. I would want to bring these to your potluck. I want that to be how I interpret the golden rule. Would I want you to bring this to my potluck? Would I want to bring this to your potluck?
Like that.
I love that. That's a good one. That's also not one I traditionally think of as a Thanksgiving meal, but I'm always actually we struggled with like a good green side
Oh man.
for Thanksgiving.
And that's another thing that I was intimidated to cook. For many reasons, right? I don't know, things seem hard to do, but you know, did it and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, what's your neutral good? And how did
My
you pick?
neutral good, this quadrant is described as good buddy. And I had already put this. Oh no, I hadn't, because my neutrals were the cross was what I was struggling with.
Oh, right.
Right? Yeah, the cross was what I was struggling with. But when I saw good buddy, I knew what should go here. And this is my favorite dish to make. It's also my favorite dish to eat, and that is dressing.
Yum.
Favorite dish to eat of the Thanksgiving dishes, I should say. I make a great dressing. It is what I like to eat the most of the Thanksgiving foods. I feel like it is literally a good buddy to the turkey.
I like that.
It is being a good buddy.
I'll be the dressing to your turkey, Jenna. Or I'll be the turkey to your dressing, whichever you want.
I'm not gonna make you be a turkey after your very strong feelings. Yeah, it just feels like it's the good buddy of the meal. Like it's doing the good work. And
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I love it. I think our recipe is like one we've been making forever. It's like a cornbread dressing. And I think it's like a pastor's wives cookbook. Like both my grandfathers were preachers, and my Mima on my dad's side had like a lot of like pastor's wives cookbook where they like all acquired each other's recipes and like put them into a cookbook, and like either I probably sold it to like raise money for the church or who knows, whatever. And anyway, it's like a very charming old recipe.
That's really sweet. I think sharing recipes is such a wonderful way to share community or create community with people.
Yeah.
Like food is
food and sharing food. I mean, there is just
right.
like it's like it's truly nurturing. So it's like in the like most real tangible way.
Yeah, nourishing like that.
Yeah.
What is it? So you said that dressing, is it like a wet dressing or more of a non-wet dressing? You know what I mean when I say wet?
Yeah, I don't use this word a lot, but I would say it's moist.
Moist. I knew that was gonna be what it was.
It's not dry.
Okay.
It has a good dampness to it.
Dampness. The reason that I yelled out moist and laughed a lot is because I know a few words that Jenna hates. One of them being moist, another being
all women hate the word
trousers.
moist. It's not just me. It's like
okay, but trousers is you. Trousers.
It's just like and slacks.
No, it was slacks. I'm sorry. It was slacks. It was slacks. That's what I was thinking of.
It's just like the way it makes, just feel it coming out of your mouth. It's like,
that's right. It was slacks. Dang it. I knew it was some kind of pants.
Shall I keep us going with true neutrals?
Oh, well, before we move on, I will, you were saying that that's like your favorite thing to cook for Duffy. Do you know what my favorite thing that you cook is?
What? Oh, the peanut butter candy?
Yes. I think about your peanut butter candy all the time.
And I don't even know where that recipe is.
Oh, man. I mean, I loved that stuff. Y'all, Jenna would make this peanut butter candy with like a shitload of confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, and peanut butter and freeze it, right?
No, girl. It was corn syrup. It was like
it was corn syrup
and peanut butter.
Oh my God, I forgot it was fucking corn syrup.
And
Yes.
maybe like
so
a
good.
powder. It's like maybe there's one other thing, maybe like a
I think it was
dry.
powdered sugar, corn syrup, and peanut butter, but I don't have any reason to think, other than that I would like beg for this shit. I think I remember asking you multiple times if you would make some because it was
It's
so good.
delicious.
Yeah.
It's like oddly delicious. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing odd about that. Yes, why don't you take us to true neutral?
It was not a Thanksgiving food, by the way.
Oh, no.
Okay, true neutral. This is just called normal, is per the chart. And
Yeah.
what I have put here has a contingency.
Okay.
So what I have put here is the very controversial Thanksgiving dish, sweet potatoes.
Oh,
And the reason
interesting.
I've put it in true neutral is because it really depends on what you do with them as to where they go. So like I have a sweet potato casserole that does brown sugar and pecans and is delicious, and butter on top, and it is delicious and amazing. I would move it over into lawful. But if you put marshmallows on top of your sweet potatoes, you can fuck off kindly, and that is chaos. No marshmallows on casseroles. It is not 1965. We are not children. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh,
ma'am.
man.
That's a no ma'am.
That
So
is a
sweet
no,
potatoes
ma'am.
are neutral until the chef decides what happens with them.
I like that. A choose your own adventure type of thing. So you really what is your can I ask what your beef is with the marshmallows?
We're not children. Stop putting marshmallows in your dinner. We're not children.
I feel like the title might be in there somewhere. Oh,
Stop putting
incredible.
marshmallows in your dinner.
Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, I really like sweet potatoes.
You don't like them.
No, so I don't really go for the sweet potato dishes myself. But I know that they're very beloved. So, and I love that analysis. Um Okay, so for my true neutral, I actually use your analysis for condiments, because I remember I really liked that. I liked your analysis as mayonnaise as sort of the base of a lot of other things, like the sort of, what do you call a sourdough thing? The starter,
Mm.
whole thing. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, for me, using that same analysis, I put rolls/cornbread
Oh.
because to me, that's like edible utensils during the meal. You know what I mean? Like I'm taking them, I'm dipping them, and then I'm eating them. So I'm using them both to manipulate my food and to eat. So anyway, I think that that's true neutral because they end up tasting like whatever it is in that moment that you happen to be,
Yeah. Yeah.
thinking.
I'd mind that, particularly for rolls more
Yeah.
so than cornbread, because I feel like cornbread is bringing some flavor to the table.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. But it still ends up to like, you know, that's like the second time I've done that on this episode. I made that disgusting sucking noise.
It was an impressive, like
you.
hollowing of your cheekbones also.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, we'll keep us going then
Oh,
to
sorry.
neutral
Yes.
evil.
Okay, so neutral evil is on one of the reference charts called jerk. And on another I think the goals, self-indulgence via convenience. And so I put here bag salad because
Bag salad.
yes, because the person that's bringing a bag salad is a jerk and they
Wow.
are
So this isn't even the food is a jerk. It's like you are a jerk. You're a jerk.
basically, if you come to Thanksgiving and you bring a bag salad, get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
That's what I say. So I picked a bag salad for that one.
You're not wrong. That's hilarious.
And I mean, like, still in the bag. I'm not trying to show
Right.
anybody that,
You can
whatever.
fool us. We're willing to fall for it.
Right. Well, yeah, just toss it around with it, but like literally with the bag.
Right.
You
Yep.
put in zero effort at all, you're a jerk. That's what I say.
Also, like salads at Thanksgiving.
Salad.
Come
Salad.
on.
I don't have
Come
room
on.
for that. Nobody's eating that. That's gonna be the only thing left.
Come on. What was so I know jerk because that's what I used for mine, but the other thing was
Self-indulgence via convenience.
self-indulgence via convenience because I think that applies to mine too. But
Ooh.
jerk definitely. So I picked for my neutral evil pumpkin pie.
Mm,
Like, I think the only reason pumpkin pie exists is because Thanksgiving follows Halloween and people have these stupid pumpkins lying around and they're like, what the fuck do I do with these pumpkins? And they're like, I know, I'll turn it into pie, which is awful because it's like people are eating meals and then you're full and you finally settle down and you're like, wait until you're finally hungry again. And someone's like, oh, we have pie. And you're all excited. You're like, yes, pie. And then they're like, pumpkin pie. And you're like, what
boo.
the fuck? Who
Boo.
wants that? No one wants that.
Not it.
No one wants your vegetable pie.
I
It's
agree.
ridiculous.
I couldn't agree more. Do you know what I give my dogs when they can't poop? Pureed pumpkin. That's my case.
Yeah. It's just like it was made out of convenience, I think, originally.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone makes it. There's so many good
Plus
seasonal
one.
pies.
Yeah,
Apple
plus one.
pie, as we originally mentioned
Mhm.
in the lawful good category, is a really beautiful pie.
That's right.
There are a
Pecan
lot of
pie.
pecan. It's a little too sweet for my taste, but I respect
I
it.
like
It's a
that. Mhm.
respectable pie.
Thank
It's
you. Yeah. But and also the chess ones. Oh God. And you know what I'm talking about? The chess pies. They're like
yes.
chocolate. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, yes, no. Pumpkin, no. Bottom of the list.
Get real.
Give me a fucking handful of broccoli. You know what I'm saying?
Give us that bag salad.
Give us that back salad. At least it's got some roughage.
So yeah, you're a jerk and and it's indulgence out of convenience or something.
I love it. Yeah, self-indulgence via convenience.
Oh
Love
my
it.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Um
God.
chaotic good. So this is where I put so sorry. So chaotic good is kind of scary but mostly nice. And
Love that description of it. I think that's a hilarious description of that category, by the way.
so this is where I put roles. And even though I like your analysis of roles at True Neutral, this really comes from the making of roles more than the eating of roles because I watched the horror that was both my mother trying to make roles and also now my husband trying to make roles. These are people in my life who do not bake, but for some reason on Thanksgiving they want to make rolls from scratch using yeast. And it is just the funniest and most stressful thing that happens every year, once a year. Will it rise? Moving it around to hot spots, trying to get it to rise. Like you're just looking around. There's like rolls sitting on top of the refrigerator. There's rolls sitting on top of the toaster. There's rolls like everywhere. Like it's just, and constantly checking on the rolls to see what the rolls are doing. Are the rolls too big? Are the rolls too small? What are the rolls doing? It's they're kind of scary, but mostly nice. And so
I
mostly
love that.
it's a little bit chaotic. They're good ultimately. But the making of them is a little bit of chaos and has been my entire life. It's just a pattern that happens and has followed me from one beloved family member to another.
Can I just say I love that continuity for you, even though it is crazy, like or chaotic. I don't know. Well, what do you think? Do you what I guess this is a good time for me to ask this. I actually had this on my mind. Did you like well, first of all, was your Thanksgiving chaotic at your house? Or was it more lawful or was it more neutral?
Um, I think it was probably chaotic good. Like it felt like a
Mhm.
little bit of chaos, but like in a really good way. Like you enjoyed it.
And so like that's I think why I really am happy for you to have that continuity
Yeah.
of chaos.
It definitely feels like that now because I'm a disaster before hosting these big meals because I'm a ball of stress and I want everything to be perfect
Of
and
course, of
beautiful.
course.
So it's
Yeah.
just like Todd's like, "Oh my God, will you please get a drink every time?" He's like, "When will you
I'm
start?"
sure every time it's so wonderful. I feel like that to me, that is part of what I love about holidays and what I
Yeah.
love but it, just big community, whatever, family events is the chaos. Is very
Yeah.
comforting to me. And that's not the case for everybody. Do you know what I mean? Like some folks really don't like because you've been around my family. It's like so loud. Like everybody's just yelling on top of
Yeah.
everybody else. But I actually really quite like that. It makes me sort of but I know for a fact because someone has told me that you know, they hate it. They do not like
Yeah.
that. They don't force theirs. But I love that. So I was curious if that was your
Some
also.
of my extended family would start to feel like
Mm.
chaotic, not so good. But like my immediate family, on days like that, just kind of like the rushing around and you're doing things you wouldn't normally do, and it would feel
Right.
like kind of, yeah, you're all over it. You have too many people in a kitchen at the same time, and
There's something so fun about it, so
yeah,
intimate. Yeah.
yeah. What do you have for chaotic good?
This is where I think the only right answer for gravy, Jenna, is chaotic good.
Why
Okay?
is it chaotic?
Because it goes anywhere and everywhere. There are no rules. Put gravy on your turkey, put gravy on your potatoes, put gravy on your macaroni and cheese, put it on the collards. God damn it. I literally take the gravy boat and I close my eyes and I just pour it on my plate anywhere and everywhere. Gravy is manna from heaven, a gift from God. And so that's why I think it is chaotic good. Um, Also, one of the reference charts had it as choice for this category as the ultimate like goal. Like everybody has choice. And
Freedom, yeah, like true
yes,
freedom, yeah.
liberty. Yes, and to me that is spray that, put it in a hose and spray it all over me. I don't even care what it touches, kind of a thing. So,
I
oh,
mean, I think it's safe to say that our differences about gravy really encapsulate us as people.
I guess so, doesn't it? And why we are such good, like, perfect soulmates, so complimentary,
So complimentary.
right? I mean, we can't both be spraying each other with hoses of gravy.
One of us has to hold the hose.
Somebody's got all those. Oh God, I love you so much. Um, I will say I had a couple other notes because I'm trying to do better. And this is kind of scary, but mostly nice because it looks kind of gross, but it is delicious. And
That's
then,
true. That's a good point.
right, it looks way worse than it
That's like
tastes.
that goes to the giblet point. You can get over the conceptualness of
Yeah.
it. Like,
Mm. And I totally get that point. And then I'm like, yeah, Amy, but you eat like bologna and water ham and spam, and that's like, ugh.
what is water ham?
That's what I call the that's what that's what I call the super pink like chunk of ham that like we would have in school. They would cut in those cubes and put on the salad. Like it's always like suspended in like water. And then also at the Waffle House, we go in there and you get ham. It's like this big pink block of like, so I call it water ham.
Oh my God. God. I think that's
Anyway,
just called cubed ham.
maybe I call it
But
water
I
ham.
love that you call it water ham and call it that and then eat it, having called it that.
Not only eat water ham was what brought me. I was a vegetarian for 4 months in
No,
law school after I
no,
took this class and saw all this horrible shit, and then I was a little drunk at
no,
Athens, and I was like, "I need that water ham," and so
no.
it brought me out of vegetarianism.
Mine was a chicken sandwich, fried chicken sandwich.
I mean, that's a way better. That's
It
a
was
way
a free, it was when Chick-fil-A
Oh,
introduced the spicy fried chicken sandwich for the first time, and they gave me a free one. And
and
I
you didn't even pay for it. You didn't even support the,
was just like, it was a sign
what are you gonna say to that? Literally, God is
from
like,
like
Jenna.
homophobic gods. Yeah,
Homophobic God. Fuck
to eat
homophobic God.
chicken.
To eat chicken. They need to put that on their next billboard. Something from that. I don't know. I feel
Oh my
like
God.
campaign in there somewhere, Jenna, that you could run.
Chick-fil-A, hit up Buffalo Group. We got you. We got your next campaign right here, baby.
And you're getting endorsed by a homophobic God. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Gonna love it.
Honestly, they might. Anyway. Wah, wah.
Oh, did you hit? Was that all of your notes? Did we cover
Yeah, no,
all of
it's
your
okay.
notes?
Yeah, it's okay. That's good. Yes,
No, I want to make sure that we.
Um, well, I also just said if you like pop out, it's sort of chaos because the way I do it, you're covering all of your food in like the juice of the meat of one of the foods and flour mixed together. but maybe that was a note that we could have gone without. So anyway, what are oh, so that means I go for the okay, chaotic neutral.
You sure
So
do.
this is where I put dressing slash stuffing. And I did it because one of these reference charts is what?
It might, depending, if it's truly stuffing, we have twinsies.
Oh, well, I'm dressing slash stuffing.
Because
But
I
I don't
do,
know, is that
I,
too 'cause
stuffing is my chaotic neutral.
yes. I think that counts as a twinsies.
Twinsies!
What was the noise that we're gonna do?
It's a club horn. Wah, wah.
So I think we got twinsies.
Twinsies.
Way to go. High five. Even though mine is dressing slash because I think people have and some people call it everything dressing, some people call everything stuffing, some people are saying this stuffing is one thing and dressing is another thing. Some people
That's true. They're different.
yeah. So in terms of one of the goals, I'm sorry, one of the reference charts has the goals, and for this category, it is liberty. And to me, that was like, it's a free for all. Just do what you're gonna do. Dressing, stuffing. Do you want it wet? Do you want it dry? Is it gonna be veggie? Is it gonna be sausage, soggy, crunchy, herby, spicy? Just go for it. Go to town. So that's why I picked it.
Okay.
So
I spoke very fondly of dressing. I am not a stuffing girly. This chaotic neutral is considered kind of scary. You know, chaotic good is kind of scary, but mostly nice. Chaotic neutral is just kind of scary. And I put stuffing here because it's like literally a dish that has come out of the insides of your dead meat. And I think that's kind of scary. That is what is different about stuffing and dressing. That's literally why it's called stuffing, because you stuff it inside of the turkey. That is the stuffing aspect of the stuffing. Dressing is dressed around the turkey. So if you are dressing around the turkey, it's dressing. If you are stuffing inside this turkey, it's stuffing. You're welcome, everybody. It's not a northern southern thing. It is how you make it. And if you are stuffing shit inside of your turkey and then pulling it out and serving it to people, I think that's weird and kind of scary.
you know, when you explain it like that, there really doesn't seem to be any ambiguity. It's actually pretty simple to tell the difference.
Words matter.
And you're right. It is. I don't want to stick my hand in there, but I mean, I guess you got to stick your hand in to get the. They put all the. Okay, this is gross, but let me tell you something. They put, you have to reach in there to get all the stuff out that they put in a little plastic wrap, like the giblets or whatever that your dad used to make the gravy. You know what I mean? Like they usually have all the gutsy parts up in there.
I have to tell you a story.
Oh, good, because this is good. So no. Oh my gosh, Jenna. Discombobulated. So I watched the other day because I was looking for the listeners would love to hear this. I was looking for like who could we bring on the show? Who is making great content that we could have as a guest on our show? And I found this guy who is really funny and really sweet and whatever, who is does autopsies. And he has like a channel where he talks about, he answers questions from people in the comments about like essentially, the morbid curiosity of like what is your life like as somebody that performs autopsies. And apparently they put, if you have an autopsy done on you, all of your organs go in a plastic bag in your chest, just like the turkey, including your brain and your tongue. So anyway, what was your
Donate
story?
your organs.
that
Donate
you were
your
gonna-
organs. Donate your
Exactly,
organs.
because do you really want them all in a plastic bag inside of your chest? I thought, oh my God. And then I thought of stuffing and turkeys. So anyway, go ahead. What was your story?
Oh my gosh. You saying that like brought back this memory. I know we're running long, but like this is so back when I was like I think I was like part-time at the ad agency. Oh my God. So making no money. And I was working nights at Starbucks and mornings at the ad agency. So I was working like 60-hour weeks and making no money. I think it was our copywriter at the time, got this like last minute idea to do this Thanksgiving. We had a client that Piggly Wiggly was our client to do this Thanksgiving spot for Piggly Wiggly. That was, you can't say no to a free turkey because they did free turkeys for as a promotion for Thanksgiving. And so it was like basically it was like the turkeys at a bar hitting on women, like dropping like really bad pickup lines to women, and they can't say no because it's a free turkey. So that's the commercial. But
That's hilarious.
in order to do the spot, they needed someone to cook a turkey at this position with like its like arms propped up, so it looks kind of like it could be sitting at a bar.
I love that
And
it was a real turkey.
yeah. And because I'm like the lowest person on this team, I was sort of tasked with doing this.
No,
Yeah, and it's like, and I don't say no because like of course I don't. And
it's
so
a free turkey.
right. I bet I can find this spot online also. I
Oh
bet
my
I can
God,
find it.
I cannot wait. You got to put it on our Instagram. We'll put it on our Instagram.
So I get the turkey and I close at Starbucks like I always do. So I don't get home until like 11:30. I've never cooked a turkey before in my life. I'm sharing an apartment with a like 40-year-old woman who's like a mortgage lender. She's already asleep. And so I'm trying to like get the guts out of it. And it was like the most horrifying experience. Like I did not know what to do. I was like so scared I wasn't going to get them all out and something was going to catch on fire. I ultimately like called a guy who was a Starbucks customer who I knew had a crush on me and like asked him to come over and help, which I felt really manipulative for doing that.
Look.
Gave him a kiss at the end of the night to try to like reward him.
Listen.
Oh.
It's okay to manipulate men. Let's put a pin in that, but you were fine. You're totally
The worst part is though, because we're trying to get its arms to stand up in this way, it like was hanging off of this tray. And so as soon as we start cooking it like grease or fat starts dripping down that, it immediately sets off all of the smoke alarms.
Oh no.
And so I just stopped cooking it. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna get fired tomorrow, and that's just gonna be the end of it. And then I woke up. I mean, my roommate woke up and was like, "What's going on?" And I explained the whole thing to her, and she was like, "You should just broil it in the morning. We'll just broil it." And anyway, so basically, she helped me in the morning, and we just got this really nice golden brown, and it looked perfect. It looked perfectly cooked, totally raw inside, but it looked perfectly cooked. And Seth, shout out to Seth, who was he drove an ambulance and he was very helpful that night for me.
Shout out Seth.
Yeah, it was a horrific experience, but I bet I can find that spot.
I would love to see it. And I mean, like, talk about, and this is an excellent time too to say that, and now just this week or last week, Genna got promoted to the top creative person in her whole agency. She is the chief creative officer, and she went from cooking turkeys, from trying to figure out how to cook a turkey because she was like, oh my God, I really want to stay in this job, to now she is the chief creative. I'm so proud of you. Incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Really
it is
also a horrific story experience.
It was so stressful. It was so stressful.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. The turkey did look great though, honestly. Crushed it.
I mean, all you need is that sheen on the top.
They put little sunglasses on it. It was perfect. Which is a great segue into my chaotic evil, which I do think is a crisscross, right? Because I put turkey here.
Yep, we got crisscross applesauce.
Because look, guys, here's the thing. Chaotic evil is scary and mean. And this is the day of the year that there are more like people admitted into the ER. There are more fires that happen. And it is because of turkeys. It is because of people trying to fry them. It is because of them being stuffed into ovens where they don't fit. It takes the most effort. It is the least appetizing thing. It is taking up too much space in the oven. People are trying to do too much with them. People are getting injured. They're injuring themselves. They're starting fires. It's like, it's dangerous, it's scary, and it's mean. It's like, it's the worst of all the things. It is truly chaotic evil. Yeah, it's no good. It's no good.
That's a good analysis. The injuries is a very, because you're right that it's sort of it's sort of insane to me the amount of people who still, because Eric works the ER and he like works Thanksgiving usually, and yeah, I mean people are still doing it even though all these. It's been proven to be very dangerous to fry a whole turkey, and you can't. I don't know anything about cooking a turkey, but I can tell you right now, you're not supposed to put a frozen turkey into some boiling oil. I know that.
And it's
Much.
like the math, they're like this amount of pounds and this amount of time and this amount of temperature and this whatever. And it's like none of it's like I always just get mine professionally done from somewhere.
Right.
Like I let a professional do it and I buy it and it's like it's gonna be better than anything I could have made at home. It's not gonna take up the space in the oven, so I can
Right.
put that to other things. And anyway,
Well, and
it's
why have the stress of like, oh,
no, it's
is it cooked
stupid.
enough? And is somebody gonna get I would just be like so paranoid that somebody would get sick, you know what I mean? And it would be like, Amy killed them, you know, with her turkey.
It's the worst.
We
Okay,
did
take us home.
we do in fact have crisscross applesauce because this is where I put cranberry sauce. Um, I think that I said do unto others anything you can get away with is one of the reference charts. And I'm like, you're really gonna try to get away with uh, a, a dish that still has the indentions of the can. I mean, it comes back to me. It's disgusting. And I like canned food. Don't get me wrong. Like I love a can of SpaghettiOs, okay? But like I'm not eating like a chunk, like a full like gel that comes out with the in the shape. You know what I mean? And then you slice it, and then it's just wiggly on their plate. I don't know. It's to me, it is so chaotic. What the fuck? How did that even become a thing? And I think it's evil because for all of the above stated reasons.
Yeah, this has to be a like holdover from like the Mad Men era or something where they got so excited about all of the things that they could do faster.
And with Jello,
Yeah, and like gelled.
Jello.
Like,
Ugh.
it's like, come on, people.
When
Let's
you were
stop.
talking about the preacher's wife's cookbook earlier, my grandma had we went you know through a lot of her stuff and she had a bunch of cookbooks from the late 60s and early
Oh
70s
man.
and the most disgusting things
Like, why is
I
everything
could
green?
imagine.
Why?
Right. Like, I mean, I'm like, what is this? You know, why are you putting, you know, like shredded cheese on a jello mold? I don't know.
Well,
It's awful.
and olives.
That's right. You can't forget that.
Oh my gosh. I do have a lightning round for
I do
you.
too. Okay, what's yours? You wanna okay, let me give you yours first, actually.
Okay.
Well, and if you haven't had it, obviously, I have 2 options, so you can pick between these 2.
Okay.
Creamed corn and green bean casserole.
I mean, I've had both of those.
Okay, which one do you wanna pick?
I actually had green bean casserole as a backup on my chart. So,
Mm.
I had it as chaotic neutral, which is kind of scary, is, how I would define green bean casserole. It's like you're taking a vegetable, a green vegetable, and doing kind of scary things to it.
That's good, that's
Um,
really good.
it's like,
And it's like cornflakes on the top, right?
yeah, it's like take it easy. It feels
I
like
That's chaos, for sure.
Southerners trying to turn vegetables into not vegetables.
Well, I mean, you know, like, macaroni and cheese counts as a vegetable when you go to a meat
No,
and 3 in
ma'am.
the South.
There's not even a vegetable in there.
When you go to a meat and 3 in the South, it's all or whatever, like a
It
restaurant
counts as a
southern restaurant.
side, not as a vegetable. It counts as a side.
I just remember, going to Cracker Barrel and, you know, you could get a vegetable plate, and I would get, like, macaroni and cheese, hash brown casserole, and, like, fried okra.
Oh my God.
Okay, so lay it on me. What's your lightning round?
Mine is not a dish. This was by a Todd request. He wants to know where you would put the tradition of saying what you're grateful for.
Oh, come on. I love it. It's lawful
Do
good.
you?
It's easy. I love it. Well, and the reason I love it is, I mean, sure, it's kind of corny. That's why I'm putting it in lawful good. It's kind of corny, you know, but at the end of the day, I think gratitude is such an antidote to so many things. I think it's
Yeah.
an I think it helps with despair. I think it helps with anxiety. I think it helps with, you know, a lot of things. So even as corny as it is, I fully like if in whenever in some of the times when I've had sort of like ruminating thoughts, it really does help to be like, okay, 3 things that I'm grateful for right now. And then all of a sudden, you know, things don't seem so overwhelming. So I'm putting it in lawful good, even though it's corny.
No, I love that. I think that's great. I think that's where I would put it too.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
well that counts as twinsies.
Oopsies.
You know what? You know what, Jenna?
Hmm.
I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you and this podcast and our 2 listeners. I'm
Yes,
most
we are
grateful
grateful for
them.
you. Shout out.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You too, Jenna, and I'll be there in spirit at your Friendsgiving. Love you.
Love you.